Before we go any further, I'd like to say if there's any background noise and this music gets copyrighted, then I'm going to be very angry. Because there's a lot going on downstairs. There's a garden party going on, so that's fun. Anyways, welcome back. As you all know, Matchday report. That's the thing that happens on this channel after a match day, usually the day after now, because everyone likes it on the day after instead of on the day. So yeah, day after match report it is. Today we've got Reading versus Preston North End, and I don't want to jinx anything, boys, but we're fucking going up. It's going up season. I'm going to say it now. It's going up season. It's promotion season. Preston North End to the Premier League. But let's not get too excited, shall we? Now it's still early days. It's only November, but hey, we're 5th on the table. That's the highest we've been in a while. So yes. So then let's take a look at these stats, shall we, while I read you the first half, second half breakdown as per usual. So before we begin, let me just remind you all once again, I'm getting good at reminding people about this. Look in the description, you'll find a link to the Twitter page, or in the channel's banner you'll see the name for it as well. We're trying to build a little community on there, and I think it's going really well. We engage with a lot of fans, we do a lot of fan projects, we vote on the titles for these videos, and it's all good fun, so yeah, get on that. Anyways, so the first half was yet another fruitless first half for Preston and Reading too. Both teams even enough but poor attacking from both. Woodman scare at one point when he came out and Potts with a massive missed opportunity. Brady had a great shot in the closing moment too, but all things considered, a very bland half. Coming into the second half, we went off to a flyer as we looked more switched on, and Evans does well to recover from being pushed over to score a header. Reading continued to be the side to concede the most headers and crosses this season, which is pretty funny. There was a soft penalty given, in all fairness. It was a very, very soft penalty. From the front, the contact makes it look worse, but it wasn't Chad that, oh sorry, it wasn't Brady that threw the player to the floor. The player tripped on the back of his leg. It was never a penalty, and even the pundits agreed. It was clumsy from Brady, however, who was already on a yellow. Evans has 2 goals now after almost a year drought, because he scored twice in this game. Evans man of the match, no doubt, absolute team player all game, and again, it's the fruits of having a shot. You want to score a goal, you have a shot. Out of 10 shots we had all game, we had 4 on target, and all of them basically came from the second half. I think we only had like 2 in the first half, and none of them were on target. Reading 11 shots, 2 on target. And this is a very rare occasion where we have more possession, yet win the game, because usually the games we win we have less possession. However, I do believe this is Law's system paying off at last, because since the start of the season he's been saying to us, just believe in the system, believe in the boys, this thing takes time. And there's always going to be people that are going to say Law out, Law's shit, that Law's this, Law's that. But when you look at it in now, three wins in a row, 4 wins out of 5, the consistent quality we've had, and being in the top half of the table already, it shows things are paying off. The system is there and it is definitely working. Sure, the plan B would be ideal, but I don't think that will come till after January. But yeah, we're doing well. We're doing very well. 9 fouls committed by us, 10 by them, so a rare case where we have less fouls, but somehow more cards. The referee was awful, I'll tell you that now, but I'm going to go on to that after. Yeah, anyways. So, we take a look at our lineup. We played a 3-4-1-2 instead of sticking to the 4-3-3. And this was a situation where I believe that works, because they had a similar lineup, but instead of the attacking midfielder, they had the defensive midfielder, and I think that's where we stuck out more. Of course, we had Reese and Evans up front. Evans at first was a red flag. I thought, why Evans? Why not Shawnee or Woodburn? But to be fair, Evans, again, it's Ryan says players get picked through based on rotation and then performance, and Evans, it must have been both, and he absolutely delivered today. Fantastic. And Johnson, another one that surprised me. I thought Johnson did quite well, considering he's not played much. And Ledson was put in place of Whiteman, because Whiteman is now injured until after World Cup break. So that's pretty cool. Right, starting 11, we had Woodman at a 6 in terms of play ratings. Yeah, he didn't have to do too much, to be honest. He did concede a penalty, which was, to be fair, it's a very, very difficult penalty to save. It was a very good strike. So yeah, didn't have too much to do, but when he did have things to do, he couldn't do too much about, so that's unfortunate. Story 7, again, always the heart of the defence. He's fantastic. Always making sure he gets the ball away. Lindsay, again, a 7, always making those headers. I think Lindsay's the absolute one of the most clinical players we have on this team because of how much he can get his head on things. It's fantastic. Hughes a 6, didn't do as much as the other two, but he didn't have too much to do. In terms of linking up with Brady as well as Potts and Reese sometimes as well, I think he did quite well. Potts an 8, he did fantastic all day long. Potts was one of the best players on that pitch. He was incredible. Always carrying up and down, holding the ball well, making incredibly intelligent passes and well-timed passes. He was consistent. Brown a 7, another player that's showing some more improvements going forward. I believe it's that momentum that is carrying Brown, as well as appearing for the club over 300 times now. A big achievement to make. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, he put himself on in good places at good times, but again, I would have liked him to push up a little bit more. Ledson a 6. He offered a very different dynamic to Whiteman in terms of being in the midfield and defending at the same time. But of course he gave his all, and he's always looking to get his foot into some challenges. But yeah, he was a bit erratic at times, because that's just Ledson's personality, but I can't fault it really. Johnson a 6. Yeah, it was very frustrating at the start of the game, I can agree. But then the more he dropped deeper, the better he got. When he was on the ball, he actually looked as if he could actually produce the creative spot that he's known for, which he has been lacking this season. So yeah, more stuff like that, please. Brady is 6. His crossing caused real problems, and that's more than true. His crossing's fantastic. He showed a shot saved as well. He took a booking in the first half, penalised for the penalty, even though it was soft, and that's why he's been marked down to a 6. But I'd probably say it was a 7. He was pretty good. Evans an 8, maybe even a 9 for me. Fantastic. Was having a frustrating game, but then he popped up wonderfully, executed header before striking home the winner. His goals won 3 points. The brace did him a world of good as well. Full of confidence, man of the match. And then Reece a 6. He made his runs. His pace looked a bit worrying at times, but Reading were all over the ball, so he really couldn't do much this game, in all honesty. Reece, I'm happy he got took off. There was nothing he could do this game. A Woodburn a 6. He carried the ball forward in the build up to the winning goal, added freshness in the middle of the park. At first I thought Woodburn were being a bit stupid for not moving the ball when he decided to continue to carry it, but it proved to be the right decision. If anything, it was more or less a way to have us come forward whilst attempting to push them back enough, but also manipulate a bit of space. And that's something we've been doing a lot recently, manipulating space, and it's working really well. Maguire is 7. He held the ball up well and was clever in his centre forward play. It was drawing fouls, retaining possession in Reading's half. And McCanny was brought on in the final 10, won a few 50-50s, but I don't really think it's fair to rate him because he didn't really see much of the ball and he wasn't on the pitch for all that long. At first I said no McCann, no party, but yeah, no need. So Ryan Law to Sky Sports, it's a fantastic win. We've got to keep our feet on the ground, getting results like we did tonight. Probably got too carried away after finishing 11 points outside the playoffs last season, but we won't do that this season. I asked Ched yesterday if he could go again. He said yes, so you have to trust him. He was excellent on Tuesday and he replicated that tonight. Really pleased for him. A well-deserved man of the match, and I'm over the moon that he scored 2 goals. Lovely stuff. Low on away form. They are well coached, they take instructions very well. We sit down with them in meetings and get information from them about what they feel is right. They change things around themselves in play and has to be credited and have been a credit to work with the group. We'll be collecting as many points as we can, winning as many games as we can, and see where it goes. So that's something that I picked up on last night as well when I was listening to this. I love that he's not just being an autocratic leader. Ryan Lowe has implemented so much democracy into this group recently, and that's such a fantastic thing. Because if you're giving these players the same set of instructions week in, week out, and it's not clicking, then the next best thing you can do, rather than changing your formula, is to have them adapt into your formula through their methods. And I think that's why we're on such a good form at the minute, because the players are now starting to understand what they need to do in order to compete with this form, and they also have a better understanding of what Ryan Lowe is trying to do. And in this understanding, they can implement their own skill sets and understandings to get where we want to be, and that is the Premier League. It's fantastic how everything's coming together at last, and everyone who hated on Lowe, just a bit of patience. Locomotion set sail, boys. HMS Pistol League has swerved that iceberg. Right, more from Ryan Lowe. The lads were excellent in everything that they did. We needed to keep the ball better after the first half, and the lads knew that, so we addressed it at half time. I'm pleased for Ched because he hadn't scored for a while. He's a solid pro, and that's what he gives you. We want to send the fans home happy, and that's what we've done. One more game before the break. If we can get more points and find ourselves in the top half, then we'll come back and have a go at it again. We'll enjoy the journey home with 3 points. Now, if anything, I do believe that means he wants to try and stay above 12th. And while, of course, it's good to be in the top half of the table, I really believe he should be saying we need to be in the top 10 or top 6. We need to be in the playoffs. Because, obviously, we're at 5th now, as of the recording, but that's likely to change because of teams playing today. And, as you know, things will change because other teams are collecting points. We were the first team to play this week, so that's probably why we are in 5th. We'll look at the table on Sunday night and we'll probably be in 6th or back in 7th, so... even though we're doing well, we can't stop now because there's still lots of work to be done. If we want to stay in the top half of the table, and by that I mean playoff position, or maybe even contend for 1st or 2nd, we need to continue working hard. We need to continue doing what we know we need to do, and that's about it really. So that's about it from Ryan Law. I'm not going to read about Paul Ince because he was very inconsistent in his answers. I think you were looking at the wrong part of his note sheet, but You can't see straight. Right, anyway, points to make. It was great to see Sean St. Ledger in the studio, Preston North End legend as some people call him. It was a great display from Evans, awful refereeing once more, some very poor choices. Great to see us have the most points away from home, the system is seemingly working after so long. HMS Pistol League has recovered from its iceberg hit and is all ready to set sail once more. So, pros and cons. The pros was we had good individual displays, good use of counter chances, we did well defensively, the attacking was great in the second half, Evans had a double, the system is finally paying off, and the space manipulation was good once more. We only had 2 cons this time, and I believe that was a soft penalty to concede, which of course is no fault of our own, it's a fault of the referee. And then we was also lacking in the first half as well, but that's just a common Preston problem. We only have one good half, and that's something that really should be addressed. Maybe we're just trying to play the possessive game one half and then the attacking game another half. I have no idea, but it needs sorting out, because if we can have 2 consistent halves, then like we had against who did we play last week? Swansea. If we can have 2 consecutively consistent halves, then I reckon we can potentially go some good places. So yeah, it's good stuff to see. We are definitely making a solid improvement in this team. I have not much to complain about, in all honesty with you, because like I said, the lads are finally showing up, the lads are understanding what they need to do, the system's coming into play now, everyone's having some standout performances that are purely excellent, and I really do believe this could be the start of the new era. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get too excited. Actually, let me go back onto the screen and show you the table before we sign off. Like I said, I don't want to get too excited, but it's possible. Yeah, we're still in 6th place at the moment, but QPR is still 0-0. And that keeps them on 32 points, so we will stay there. Watford are losing 1-0, but if they come back to win this game, then they'll be above us. And Millwall, if they win their game, they will be we'll be in 7th. Well, we was in 5th, weren't we? I think we were in 5th. I don't remember. I think it was 5th. That was in last night. It's based on these other teams. Burnley lost 5-2, by the way. That's sick. So yeah, Blackburn's winning 1-0, of course. Norwich are winning 1-0, of course, just widening that gap a wee bit more. But if you look at the points, there's not that much separating the teams. The only 3 teams are Burnley, Sheffield, and Blackburn. They're the only 3 teams that we need to keep our eye on, really. Everyone else is really tight knit, so the more you win, the more consistent you are, the better chances you've got of staying in this race to get promoted in the playoffs, or the title race if that's even on anymore. But yeah, thanks all for listening in once again, appreciate it very much. Like I said at the beginning, don't forget to check out the Twitter in the description. It'd be very good to see you all there, so we can discuss some more things about this match that I haven't discussed today. We'll engage in some fan conversations. We do a lot of conversation about things going around in the EFL, some things in the Premier League, a couple of memes get shared. We talk a lot about Preston North End football kits, because I'm a massive fanatic of football kits and I love collecting them. So yeah, we have lots of nice little competitions here. So yeah, thanks again for listening. Don't forget to check it out. 2 videos here on the end screen in just a moment to check out if you're interested, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Take care and skedaddles.